And welcome everyone to the third and final game of tonight here over at Meta HSE. I'm still Midnight. I'm still joined by Hedgie for our third and final game of the night, and it is an important one here coming in between these two teams because this will kind of decide, in a way, who will be able to safely push themselves up further. And I mean that because one of the teams is going to be Cam Braddock High School, which is sitting at 4-2 record, which is nice, but their opponents, De La Salle, are sitting 5-1, and it is critical for De La Salle if they want to basically secure themselves in finals. They have to win today, and for their opponents, if they want to get a foot into the door, they got to win as well.
Yeah, and as I do have my cam on, the trade-off one team will lose and one team will win. So that's the trade-off for this one. But we'll have to get right into it. It's going to be an interesting game. And yeah, De La Salle looking to go 6-1 here. And Cabramatta High School, I did it. Let's go. I did it first try. Let's go. Going to be looking to come even with them if they do actually pick up a win here. So a very, very important game for both teams. Two teams that are doing very well in this competition. So both are going to be looking to get a dub here.
Yeah, well, we should be diving into the game in a matter of moments. So we'll see how it goes. I'm very interested to see how this pick and ban goes and sort of get a sense of where the teams are going to be at coming through here. So it's time to kick off Champions Select and find out. And from what I've worked out, guys, everyone's going to be looking in for themselves. So we'll kind of just see it as we go of what the lane allocations are going to be between these two teams. And I think draft is really going to sell us who is going to be in those positions, right? Because we've seen already today that drafting, and specifically the jungles and the bottom lane, does have quite a bit of an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been important today. It has actually been important, particularly in that Ezreal Lulu into Vayne Pantheon matchup. I think last game as well was quite important. About getting those champions that you really need to win, and champion synergy just wasn't there at some points in these games today. Even like a Nico Ezreal lane doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and that really struggled last game. So got to get those champion synergies, those draft struts out, because if you don't bring your A game in terms of champion strength, in terms of what you're good at, it may be a big struggle.
Well, so far we're just seeing some standard bans. We can call them Ezreal getting taken off, who's been super popular tonight. The Gangplank and the Lee Sin are the three bans out of Cambrata, which makes a lot of sense. Really strong champions against them. Darius, surprise, surprise. The Senna and the Yone, all very strong champions. Now, let's see what they're going to lock in for the top lane. It looks like to be a Jax, and I must say, I love me a good Jax performance.
Yeah, Jax. Very, very strong in that top lane. He is going to be played into that Aatrox, so that is a very, very high skill, very, very mechanical matchup in that top lane. Both carry in their own respect, so going to be important who actually wins that one, because that is going to heavily impact the game. Both very, very strong champions when they get it on the board. Both very, very strong when they get ahead. So be important to see who wins that one. And Echo into the Zed locked in the jungle.
Wait, no. I haven't. Oh my! I forgot Zed Jungle was a thing. I remember ages ago, people were like, "Oh, Zed Jungle, it's making a resurgence." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I went the entire surge of Zed Jungle, not seeing it once, and now it comes back in when the junglers are AP junglers.
Well, there's some really high skill matchups here. Jax into Aatrox, Zed into Echo, and Azir into Sylas. So all very important on how they play. Very mechanical champions coming across both teams. They're going to have to play this one to the best of their ability. Jhin and Samira taken away, while Kayn, who was quite insane in last one in the lane. It actually wasn't in the lane, it was in the jungle. I messed up really badly there, but yeah, 3 out of 4 ADC bans coming through on the last rotation of bans. Vayne, Samira, and Jhin, as well as that Kayn, all taken away. So have to see what they go for in these AD position. Prodigy and Sonosem looking to make the best of this opportunity to really take a spot really high on the ladder in this tournament.
Well, you see the Kai'Sa locked in for Prodigy. That should be... I hope it's paired up with something that can pick a fight quite easily. Something like a Nautilus I would really like to see. But it might have to be careful. Misfortune Set is a very annoying lane to do. And a Lulu paired up with that. I was Not prepared for a Lulu, but unlike the Ezreal, I don't hate it. Kai'Sa is a phenomenal hyper carry if she can get to the late game, and the Lulu is more than capable of facilitating that.
Yeah, well, I believe it's into the set, because if the set approaches you, you just polymorph. You can do a lot in terms of that matchup. If the Lulu is good on her champion, with that approaching set, you can just polymorph, you can just Q, you can just use the ultimate, so there's a lot of outplayability. When it comes to that lane, and the Kai'Sa is quite good in the late game in terms of being a hyper carry, so that should be okay there. MF set a very strong lane, so actually be down to kind of how the Lulu actually plays that lane, in my opinion. Like, if the Lulu is mechanically playing well, not letting that set get too many engages, and using the polymorph well, that should be an easy lane. In the mid lane, pretty high skill matchup. If the Sylas can get onto that Azir in the early game, get a solo kill or two, it can be very, very hard for Azir to play, but Azir naturally does have that ultimate, does have the so it is a bit hard at times to start to play into it. Zen's Echo, high assassin, pretty bad camp clears for each of them. Echo is slightly better than Zed, I believe, but they both do have a bit that multi-camp clear in their kit, so they'll both be okay there, but looking to definitely go for ganks with those dashes on each of the champions. And then in the top lane, Jax versus Aatrox. Jax does pretty much outscale the Aatrox, but Aatrox is bit better in that in terms of that laning phase, so having a bit more poke, having a bit more relevance to chase down with the ultimate as well is quite strong. So interesting matchups across the board, very down to skill, very down to how these individual players are playing their champions and how well they're actually doing that.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this game goes, because unlike the other games, I don't think that this game is actually going to be dictated by the junglers, because Zed, his ganking ability is good, but there's not a ton of lane setup, right? Normally you want to lane with them. I like point and click crowd control with these kind of junglers, and well, we just don't have that. So I'm very interested to see where it's going to lead itself. We'll have to, obviously, time will tell, but I think this bottom lane and this top lane are definitely worth watching. A Kai'Sa Lulu, despite scaling phenomenally, do have some cheeky damage in the early game, and set you can never take out of the equation, because the things that a set can do, if you give them time to walk up, pull you in, punch you in the face a couple times, throw the haymaker out, it's really difficult to deal with. So this bottom lane should be a place of high action.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball and say I actually think mid is potentially the most important lane. I think if Azir gets ahead, it's really, really hard for any of the champions, or most of the champions, who are all quite short range. Echo, Aatrox, Sylas, or Melee. Lulu is range, but she's not going to do any damage, and then Kai'Sa is quite a short range in terms of the AD carry component. Azir's going to be able to outrange, he's going to be able to outscale, he's going to be able to throw Melee champions away with his ultimate. He'll be really strong in these team fights if he does get a lead, but if Sylas gets ahead, there's not really too much CC prevention really to stop him from just rampaging across the squishy MF, Azir, and Zed. So whoever gets ahead in that mid lane, I think is really, really important, because in the team fights, it's going to be really come down to if those champions can actually pop off at the time. So whoever gets that mid lane matchup right, whoever gets ahead, it's going to be quite important towards this game.
Yeah. Well, we'll find ourselves out as we are moments away from getting into the game itself. So, guys, do not go anywhere. When we come back, it will be Cambrata and De La Salle College going head-to-head in our final game of the night here over at Meta HSE. And we've hit Summoner's Rift for our final game of the night between our two teams, Canberra High School and De La Salle College. Hedgie, we've got some interesting things. The Zed Jungle was one I was in particular not expecting to see this game. So run me through, because obviously you know the champion probably a little bit better than I do. Run me through what a Zed Jungle does.
Okay, so I'm expecting he's gonna go red to blue to romp and look for a gank top lane, because he does have the E on the Jax, and it's a relatively easy lane to go for, and he does have a lot of burst damage there. He doesn't have CC, and I think you talked about this a bit in Champ Select, so it's kind of hard to gank Azir, kind of hard to gank bot lane. Bot lane's okay, but probably Set needs to land quite a good E on the Kai'Sa or the Lulu, otherwise it will be quite hard. But yeah, he definitely needs to farm up till 6 as well, because he just doesn't have that burst damage as well, but he's not really going to be that good at farming, I think would be the main thing. We have to relatively focus on the single target camps. Go for a few cheesy ganks, kind of like a J4 but worse would be my analysis of it there.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it goes here, as it will be a bottom side start for both of our junglers here, and I'm curious if the Zed. I'm curious if the Zed goes for a bit more of a heavy clear, or if he goes to try and get some early ganks. But it looks like a bit of a heavier clear for our jungler here over at the side of Canberra. As shoot. I like the idea, but you've got to be careful. You're in a ranged versus melee match up there. You've got to be a bit more careful in that lane, because you can get poked out. We've seen it once already today.
Bit of a worry in terms of similar lane, I guess, with the Ezreal Lulu. Kai'Sa does lack range though, so that would be the key difference, I think, in this one. But they do get the level 2, and kind of looking to do a similar thing, running up straight away and getting a Q down, but yeah, pretty normal stuff early. Might actually have a calm. I'm not gonna say that too early at midnight, because you know how many.
Yeah, don't say we're about to have a calm early game, mate. We've had enough games where we know the moment you say it's gonna be a calm early game, everything just sort of escalates very dramatically. So, and that's gonna be the Scuttle Crab. Look at the junglers. Both of them are top half of the map here. We're likely gonna have a scrap around the Scuttlebug. Yeah,
possibly both kind of end their full clears. On the opposite side from there they started. Echo is actually going for the actual full clear though. Zed's just going from to skip the wolves and do Gromp. So Echo won't actually. I think he will just run straight from the red to the Scuttle Crab, and then Zed will be higher HP if he does actually go onto this Scuttle Crab here. So he will have the advantage. Jax is also pushing. Azir has back though, but this wave is shoved into Sylas, so this should be Zed's Scuttle Crab for the taking, with the HP advantage that he does have, but I believe he's going to...
Dextrox doesn't want to give this up, and is now roaming. I think gets the Smite Seal away, but Zed isn't too happy about that one. Does have reinforcements. Dextrox with a level up, but outnumbered. TP coming through from the back end, but the stun not going to stop the chains there, as now it is a flank. Pwn is likely going to fall victim, but they do get the first blood as they get out alive. A phenomenal work here, and now 1, 2, 3 will drop. A disaster for De La Salle College in the early game.
Oh yeah, I mean that is a play that happens a lot in my elo and in my solo queue games. You go for that Scuttle Crab, other jungler smites it away, and it usually goes really bad from there. But Zed plays that really mechanically well to walk towards his top laner, who has the prio, gets to the Jax, they kite back the Echo, he just survives, and he turns a kill and gets the Echo. W's away then as well, so really good work there. Sylas came in just that bit too late. Azir TPing in on the end of it to get there. They turn it and they get 3 kills for themselves, and that's just a massive advantage. Now your top lane, your mid lane, and your jungler are all ahead. And that's just super good for them in terms of advantages. The only bad thing right now is Jax is down on CS. But overall, they all get a kill. They all get a bunch of gold. They all get an item lead. They're all able to back as well and get so many advantages off that play. So a really well executed play there by Cabramatta College. And they could pull an upset here. They're looking quite good.
Well, yeah, he's looking good for them, because even with the gold, the CS's advantage in the top lane, the Jax actually is ahead in gold. Yeah. That's what that kill and 2 assists has netted, as the 2 top laners have Conqueror proc, but it is Mowgli who sort of has the initiative up there. As Godrius isn't in the greatest position there. They need to keep chugging those health potions, the corrupting potions I should say. and keep getting a little bit of life up on the top half of the mappers. There's the double scuttle was secured by Dextrox though. He was able to get the first one before the fight went awry, and Dextrox was able to secure the bottom side scuttle. So there is, I suppose, as a consolation prize, there's that, but I'm not so sure a double scuttle is worth, trading 3 kills in the early game.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth it. They are going to at least get that little bit of vision, at least get that little bit of protection for themselves, but top lane,
Mowgli messes it up, not able to get the connection, and I think a beautiful jump away from Godrius as well gets them out alive, but Mowgli knows they have to put the pressure on. Jax will, as we talked about, outscale, so I love the aggression, but it just ain't working out.
Yeah, it feels really bad. Did execute that quite well as well. He played it almost to a T, just doesn't get that center of that actual Q. But now bot lane.
Yeah, Prodigy getting down low there. Shoot Room is not giving up the prey, but the heal just not enough, and no flash from Shoot.
And that's where I think this Lulu lane is quite good. I mean, he provides all these shields, all these healing, buffing up the Kai'Sa as well. Just able to provide so much of that utility. And when Set runs in, she just polymorphs and just shields. It's just so powerful on this Enchanter, and she just does a lot. She can be flexed around in multiple lanes as well. Has just been seen in the support role today, but really fantastic pick, and has been executed really well and used really well in both the games we've seen it already. Maybe see it continue, even if the heal forward as well from MF, just not able to find those kills. And yeah, doing a really good job on this Lulu now in multiple lanes.
Doing well to keep them in there, and that's a nice CS lead. That is starting to build up in the bottom lane. 600-ish gold in favor of Progeny. And it's the kind of thing you need in this game state because, well, you haven't exactly got a good position in the top half of the map, DLSL, so you need something. And does that mean that Dextrox sort of abandons his other lanes to start looking at bot lane ganks, or do you let the bot lane continue as is, as there is a bit of a skirmish between our two top laners here? Jax could look to go all in here. I know the champion too well. Mowgli is feeling it. Yeah, he is going for one more hit, but not able to get the damage down just yet.
It's a bit of hesitation, but now Echo is just going to be able to pick up an easy kill. Ease in, burst damage is there. Going to be able to shove this wave in as well, and that's really nice. They're actually going to bring the gold lead all the way back to even, erasing that early game play on the top side river, and just going to get that one over to the Echo. Nice little kill. He's actually doing quite nicely for himself to farm himself back into the game. That double scuttle kind of helping, but that kill as well doing a very, very good job. But now Zed potentially looking for the blast cone over, maybe. Look for a gank in the spot side.
Yeah, looking for something, but the issue is they'll be diving right on top of a control ward. So the moment he hits the blast plant, you need to be all triggers go. And instead, surely they don't know. Do they? It feels like Progeny and Lemonade, they're aware that there was something fishy going on.
If they were aware, they would have run straight to him, I think, because Echo was coming. They could have killed him there. They're not going to. And then it's just going to end up Zed getting a very cheeky back off there.
I'm just still a little bit in awe, honestly, that was able to work still. But get away with it. Do get the recall there. Pwn for fun hasn't had too much impact other than what we did see in those early shenanigans. But I'm hoping maybe you can look at a objective as a really good trade for Mowgli. Puts Godrius in a bit of an awkward spot now because, yeah, they're going for the trade, but I'm not so sure this is a good idea. Honestly, World Ender is dropped. Grandmaster's Might is also dropped, but I don't think that the Jax is going to be able to win this one. I love that champion, buddy, but you got to be careful when you pilot him.
Yeah, that was I feel like Aatrox could have been a bit more pressing there. I mean, Jax does have the flash advantage. He's trying to go in.
Minions going for it. Mowgli flashes away. Oh, reinforcements! The reinforcements of both of London and Dextrox not able to save the top laner there of DLSL, and really unfortunate for Mowgli. I don't think they saw or communicated that there were reinforcements coming from the side of Cabramatta.
Yeah, I think Godrius was just really trying to bait in the Aatrox. They're trying to get him as low as possible. Knew Zed was going to be there first. And does a good job to do that in the end. That they do pick up that kill. And now expand that gold lead a bit more. 4-2 in kills. No objectives actually picked up at all. No Herald, no Dragon taken across the map yet. And we've had some very early Dragons today, so it's actually a bit surprising. But in a real neutral lane right now, it's just that Azir into Sylas matchup, and that does suit the Azir. He does have a major scaling in that late game. He is extremely, extremely good in terms of what he can actually do in those team fights with his range. But we are going to have a quick pause here, Midnight. So
Yeah, a little bit of ping issues, so that'll be fixed up relatively quickly. But what still really, really interests me coming into this is the points of pressure, right? We saw that Cabramatta has a good position on the top half of the map there. We're seeing, of course, Godrius really trying to push his luck constantly on the Jax. And you're getting away with it partly because we did just see the arrival of the Zed just almost coming out of nowhere and just slapping it down at the Aatrox here. But there is still signs of life. Again, I want to look at this bottom lane. It's been very passive, but it's still a 600 gold advantage to Prodigy on the Kai'Sa. The Kai'Sa is a phenomenal late-game champion if they're allowed to get there. And from what we've seen, Pwn for Fun has no interest in visiting the bottom half of the map here. So I'm a little worried. Asceticism, my screen paused, but I don't know if he's actually going to get out of here alive.
I don't know.
Is it paused for you as well?
Yeah, it's paused for me. It's paused for me.
Okay, we're just going to assume that it's paused for everybody, but I think... Wait, can I see if the cooldowns are? No, so you might get out alive. Heal. Yeah, he gets out alive.
Okay, we're all good, we're all good. Alright.
Is that TP? That's a TP! There's a fight TP coming in from the Azir! Damn, I said they weren't touching down the bottom lane just yet, but it looks like they'll be able to pick up 2 kills. Foe will pick up that one. Loco to Coco, not even able to get vengeance on the back end of that one, forced to run.
Yeah, and you'd expect with the advantage that Prodigy and Lemonade actually got for a bit in this top bot lane, sorry. You expect a gank or two from Dextrox, but at the end of the day, they don't really have any ganks set up with the Lulu Kai'Sa lane, and that is a downfall of it. So when you have this Echo that also doesn't really have any reliable CC, you're not really able to gank. They're shoving in the wave a lot as well, so Echo's not really ever going to be able to come there, and because of that, they're actually able to set up a really lovely TP play for them, and Azir uses the ult to perfection. Going to be able to pick up the Drake on the back of it and really establish a nice gold lead. Get that Cloud Drake as well. The 10% cooldown reduction. All the ultimates is quite nice with some important ultimates across the board. But now, big trade in top lane. Can Jax take this one out?
Oh my god, yeah he can! Mowgli can't fight this one. A couple more seconds, yeah, one more rotation, and that's enough for Godrius to pick up the kill. Jax's trading potential is insane. And Setrox coming in for the fight there. Not able to get the parallel convergence stun, and Go will be able to get out alive.
Yeah, and other than this, Jax getting ahead as well. I think the worrying sign for me is just this Azir. He's quite strong. He's a level above Sylas, and Sylas is, if he's going to win this matchup, he's got to get ahead. He's got to get those early kills. He's got to get those early advantages. So, not being ahead right now, being a level down, being CS down in that mid lane, he's just really struggling. I mean, Azir has 2 kills as well. So, if we get to these team fights, it's just going to be so hard for the Echo, the Sylas, even the Aatrox as well, just to approach that Azir if he does wall up correctly and play the range well. So, it's going to be a bit of a struggle there, but Echo will start this Herald, but Zed is there to contest it.
Yeah, and Dextrox will immediately abandon ship, as you kind of have to in that situation there. You're not going to be able to, successfully take that fight, so I do like the caution coming through, and Dextrox even comes back. The 2 junglers can't make up their mind what they want, but what worries me is look at Godrius. Godrius is waiting for the fight to start up there. In fact, everyone is roaming to that top half there, so Herald is likely to be a highly contested objective.
Yeah, I think they're being very hesitant.
Oh my no! Yeah, diving on top of there, but a beautiful slide gets them to safety.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. There is the power of that Azir. He has the dash as well for the E. I didn't even mention that. But the ultimate is able to take away those melee members, push them away, get an ego. He didn't even have to flash. He still got that available. Beautiful disengage there in the 1v3, but now top lane again. Jax trying to trade, trying to get another aggressive solo kill.
Yeah, Mowgli doesn't win this. Mowgli's just getting battered and abused. I think there could be a full commit to a dive here, but Godrius not feeling that one just yet. But it doesn't... Yeah, even if you can't get that dive, the Aatrox is just not in a position where they can fight. Anytime they walk up to the minion wave, they're in likelihood of getting killed. World Ender, unfortunately. The only thing ending is your life, Mowgli, as you can fight all you want. But again, Godrius doesn't care how much you struggle. He'll put you down anyway.
He had to flash away there. He doesn't use that in time, and Godrius going to be able to pick up a kill. Was a bit hesitant, I believe, in the first dive, just because he didn't have the damage, and there was a flash available on Aatrox. Could flash away to safety. Perhaps had a death under the turret, but he isn't going to pick up that kill in the end. And 14 minutes ticking over, the plates away. The Herald becomes a lot less advantageous than it previously would be as well. But Kai'Sa and Lulu setting up. Oh my lord, beautiful son.
Yeah, and lovely parallel convergence there. Catches out Shoot. Shoot has been playing so aggressively, but finally it comes back to bite them.
Be able to pick up a kill there on this bot lane, and there's the gank setup when you don't actually when the set runs into you like that. It is actually easy to pick up a kill there, and does have a lot of that burst damage available for himself, but DLSL definitely not going to go down without a fight here as Echo finds Zed in his jungle.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure that either of them actually want that trade. They will both choose to back away as a Prima Shuffle does catch Loco out. Loco trying to fight all the best that he can with the borrowed Zed ultimate, but I just don't think it's going to matter as this gets run down. Does shadow back, but the spear was waiting behind him.
Yeah, this here is way too strong right now. This is a real worry for me for DLSL. They just don't really have ways to deal with them, and as the game continues, you don't really have ways to deal with them anyway because you have very short-range champions. So they're going to have to look for their oversteps. They're going to have to look when that Azir is out of position, because if he's not, it's going to be a real struggle on these team fights to take him down. With that Drake approaching, mid lane's going to get shoved in. They've got Prio bot lane as well. It's going to be very hard to contest this objective as well.
Mowgli, you can't do that. Mowgli, you can't do that. Even with Deathstroke's nearby, I'm not so sure you win this fight. And Leap Strike to safety. If they overcommit to this, Foam for Fun's fine. Oh no, they're committing. Foam for Fun is waiting for them, though. This is a disaster. DLSL got baited in, and they will lose their top laner. Every time they lose their jungler on the back end of this as well, simply because Deathstroke doesn't have the damage, can't buy the time. 2 kills to the Jags, and even Go comes up to ensure that nothing went wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Azir's there. I think they should definitely have him bot lane. I'm not sure why Zed's even up here because the drag is coming up. The objective is important to pick up. It is the second drag. Cloud Soul off the table. Thank God. It's gone. So it is going to be an important soul, either the ocean or the mountain. So they're not going to get the Prio bot now. But TP coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going in for the fight here. Good timing as they will try and fight it out there. They've got to be careful as Shoots as abandoned Lemonade Prodigy does get out in one piece. Lemonade might actually be able to turn this one around there. Can he kill the set? A couple hits, misses the Glitter Lance. And the Haymaker not able to get the kills there. That is heartbreaking if you're Lemonade in that situation.
Wow, DLSL just looking a bit in pieces here as Azir is trying to chase down that Silas, push him out. But Echo coming in here, not going to be able to contest at all. And even with that top lane play, getting the double kill for Godrius, they're still going to be able to get to the bot lane and pick up that second drag on the way to a mountain soul. Going to be very helpful for that. Oh my lord.
Foam for Fun feeling confident there. A lot of fancy footwork with the shadows. There's Loco in the backline there as he has no mana. There is no mana on Go, which means he cannot get out of danger. There is no flash. I'm not sure they have the ultimate for the mana for the ultimate, I should say. So Loco feeling confident there, but now is a little outnumbered, but has full health, full mana, a stolen ultimate. So I think rather smartly, Cabramatta will not choose to engage.
Going to take him down there. He does have obviously all the healing, the ultimate available with the Azir ultimate that he stole away. Would be a bit scary to go in there, but at the end of the day, Cabramatta High School picking up a lot of advantages here. The 2 Drakes are available on them as well. With that 4k gold lead looking very, very strong. Aatrox actually going to try to solo away that Rift Herald. Even with the Prio Jax head, going to shove it away for it. So, oh wait, no, I think it was just clearing out a water. No, did he? Yeah,
look at the minimap.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I was very confused for a second there. No, does pick up that Rift Herald, so he's going to have that minor objective. But does lose a bit of a wave for it, I think, so not too worth there. But we'll have to see what actual use he gets out of that.
Prodigy and Lemonade once again playing aggro on the bottom side of the map. Bullet Time comes out, but I'm not so sure it's going to do too much. The Haymaker does quite a nice bit of work, though, but that should be nothing that Lemonade can't just shield up when they go for the trades here, as Godrius has the Divine Sunderer, which is a bit of a problem. Yes, the Gore Drinker is available there for Mowgli, but he's 2 levels down, and basically it means that Mowgli is no longer allowed to make an inefficient trade, because the healing advantage is in Godrius' favor because he chose to go for the Divine Sunderer instead of the Trinity Force. And if you go for a bad trade, well, this happens, which is you just get run down under your own turret, and Godrius decides to let you live because he is merely the bait for Foam for Fun. TP coming through, but I don't think it matters. An immediate flash for safety, but Well, Deathmark is a little excessive, mate, even in my opinion. As the pop comes through, Loco tries to get a little bit of vengeance, does get the chain connecting, but in a 1v2, I'm not sure he has the cooldowns available. Deathmark from the stolen ability. Is he have the damage output to get the execute? No, he doesn't. One more hit will do. He gets it! Oh, he actually gets a kill out of that!
Thought he was going to get a double kill for a sec. That would have been quite insane, but he'll at least get one. Echo running up to try to get a trade. Zed's going to be able to complete that back there before he gets there, so he'll get away. But yeah, a bit too aggressive for my liking from the Jax there. Didn't need to dive, just chunk him and walk away. Also, even he kind of walked into the lane at an awkward angle where Aatrox would get 3 Qs off for free. Got chunked already. So he was like quite low health for the dive originally, so just a few kind of minor lane mistakes there from Jax. But when you have that sort of advantage, a lot of players tend to just get kind of comfortable. I know I do this sometimes. I know I've seen a lot of players, teammate coach as well, we do it sometimes. You just get a bit lazy, just get a bit relaxed, you know, when you get that sort of big advantage, and you just tend to make a few of those sorts of mistakes. So got to cut those out, you know, you got to close the game out, and you know, a good player, or a great player I guess, does know how to close the advantages out when they have them, so yeah, big part of the game there. So does make a little bit mistake there. They do get a trade kill in the end, and as well another kind of concept is when you are this far ahead, trading kills is not worth it. So you want to be getting multiple kills for your team, but Set is a bit caught out in the river.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if Set being the one caught is Aatrox. No, Deathmind, it definitely is Set with Loco coming in from the flank as well. Bullet time does nothing basically. They're tanking it. They don't give a damn as Lou is going to lose their life to Prodigy. Oh, hunting it down. Prodigy! Ooh, what a play coming out by the mid laner of the side of Cabramatta. That was a beautiful move with the Azir. Wait, no, it's not done yet. New challenger approaches. Deathmark coming through onto Lemonade, but a beautiful Wild Growth not able to save them, but buys a little bit of time. Was it enough time to buy Deathstroke to get the kill there, as Go is unwilling to pick the fight there because they got cut down in a massive 300 gold shutdown, so 600 I should say, as there's fighting everywhere, but you're 2 levels down, Mowgli, stop it! You're not allowed to fight!
Zed getting shit. Oh, he's gonna WA.
As soon as that third Q comes through... Wait, Godrius, what are you doing? What is going on?
This is just chaos across the map right now, and a few weird mistakes again, just getting that lead, but making some really questionable decisions here in this game. Very, very weird. Yeah, you know, they're having fun, alright? They're having fun.
It's a bit chaotic, to put it mildly, as Richard should be able to get the charge down. It should actually get this turret. No! I forget that the Empowered Jax auto attack does a ridiculous amount of damage there. The Herald falls, but so will the turret. But that's not much of a constellation fight for Mowgli, because Mowgli is still not allowed to push up in that lane out of risk of being murdered. So, you know, consolation prize, I'm not so sure I'd call it that.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I know we're, you know, it's about 8 o'clock and students probably don't want to talk about maths, but when you get that Rift Herald and you just don't get the turret, it's just not worth it, you know, in terms of the wave you're going to lose to collect it or the camps you're going to do. It's only 100 gold for actually getting it, and if you're just not getting a tower on that second Herald charge, it's kind of a bit of a waste for objectives, so not going to too much use there in terms of what they actually got out of that, but looking around the drag right now, both teams kind of posturing, potentially going for a team fight.
Yeah, they are. Apparently our games are severely desynced to what the broadcast, to what everyone else is seeing. So we apologize for that, guys. That might have something to do with the pausing issues that we had earlier. Hopefully, we will get those synced up without having to delay the game, because a massive dragon fight is likely to start soon here at the 23 minute and 20 second mark, which is right now, as the teams are posturing for positioning. Godrius gets a 3-man stun, and a Sarima shuffle for the ages. What a devastating way to start a fight. Now the follow-up coming through there. No, there is no follow-up, as De La Salle is gone from the face of Summoner's Rift. What were beautiful starts.
I'm going to pick up one trade kill, but it's not going to matter too much. What an absolutely phenomenal engage. I don't use that word much, but oh my lord. Godrius picking up multiple big stuns in this fight. They get the dragon. The Azir shuffle to follow up was just delightful. Oh my lord. Absolutely. I don't have any more positive words. That was just absolutely fantastic. And a really well played team fight by Cabramatta High School. Just amazing.
Yeah, the 3-man side into the immediate follow-up from Go Lago on the Azir. That Shurima shuffle was a perfect position to just throw the rest of the team a ton of damage. And yes, there was still some fight back from the likes of Dextrox, but there's only so much that Dextrox could actually do in that situation after the team just got devastated by the opening volley of Cabramatta there. So a really good start there, gives them a 6,000 gold advantage coming into this game, as they need to start looking at the other major objectives. Do they just simply wait the next 4 minutes for the next dragon, or do they look to try and do some sort of Baron play in the next couple of minutes? Because they got the damage, right? You've got the Azir. He can tear a Baron apart single-handedly.
I'm seeing right now is I actually only have 1 turret to 1, so you need to take away these outers first. It's really hard to Baron, particularly when you don't have those 2 outer turrets, so they're probably going to have to pick them up. You can't really push your vision line too far forward, so you want to get that top turret, you want to get that mid turret as well. 25 minutes into the game and you have a 6k gold lead, you don't see that actually much when they haven't taken at least 2 of those outer turrets, and they're both quite low though, so it shouldn't be too much of a hassle, but kind of just need to force them down if they want to start any Baron. But the Mountain Soul is going to be very, very nice in this game, so will be a big objective if they are able to just pick that one up as well. Don't necessarily need a Baron to be in a like super strong position in this game, but the turrets not being gone is a bit of a problem. And I mean, they're continuing to push the waves out DLSL and do a good job of actually denying them those objectives, so need to kind of pick those up soon.
And like, look at this mid lane right now. Sonism and Godrius are hanging out together. Now, I know the reason Godrius is there is to make sure that Sonism is allowed to push the wave out, but it's inefficient, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's inefficient because ideally you'd have everyone spread out across the lane. So you'd have, Go Lago as well as Godrius both in the side lanes collecting the farm, while Sonism and Shoot are hanging out in the mid lane, getting farm there, and Zed's roaming around a little bit. So it's a bit inefficient. I hope it has been fixed for the most part, but we do see Go Lago come in mid lane, and that could mean that there is shenanigans afoot.
2 TPs up as well, so should be executing a 1-3-1 right now. I'm just trying to push, but they just still don't have those turrets. Like, they might get it on the. I mean, they could just walk up to it and take it right now, I think.
Just auto the turret. There you go.
There you go. Okay. Pick up that second turret finally, but he's going to come at least before that dragon, so they can get set up for that. But definitely not going to get the Baron, unless they get an ace or something of the sort. That sort of variety. And I think there was maybe a ping or 2 initiating, maybe a dive on this Aatrox, but I don't think they're going to go for it. Jack's still just trying to push in, get a bit of a health chunk here. Uses the E for no real reason, but I think he will try. No, he's just going to walk away.
Yeah, I mean, Godrius does have 1,000 gold in their inventory, so they're going back just to see what they can grab. I wonder what they are building towards, because I'm now completely lost. I think they could build a Force of Nature with that item, which I don't actually think would be too bad. But then they pick up the Hatchet. The Earthbound Axe, I should say, sorry. And now I'm kind of confused with that. Is he going for another damage item? Destrox has Shoot? What is going on with positioning this game? It's been a little bit all over the joint.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a weird one at times, and they're starting to... Okay, no, is he just auto-attacked it 4 times then? For reasons that are very obvious to other people, but not me. It's just gonna walk mid and hit the wave. Dragon is coming. Oh my lord, that chunk could actually go in there. Okay, he's not going to, and he does have flash, exhaust, polymorph, wild growth, shooting. She is annoying, so does not elect to go in there, as well as the Kai'Sa standing right there, but won't jump in there. But the Dragon coming up, they're gonna have to reset the bot lane here, and the rest. Okay, no, Azir has teleport, so that's okay, but the bot lane does get a bit of a late reset in here. MS going to be first at that bot wave. She's probably going to be able to walk up to it first. Okay, this is really weird. Echo's actually going to be able to pick up the scuttle when Zed probably could have got it, actually, in terms of the priority we had. But I think we're just going to have a 5v5 on the objective is the key point I want to make. So both teams kind of trying to set up for it, posturing around, but we don't really have a dominant position for either team.
Well, Loco's still on their way here, so right now it's actually a 4v5 at best. We want to look at the big abilities. The Shurima Shuffle we know can be huge, but there is double Shurima ultimate there. As the dragon is taken low, it is stolen away, but the fight now does kick off. Jackshox in the buy time as Godrius is so far forward, buying space. The bullet time finally comes through to dive in from Go. Is it enough? Prodigy is in so much trouble, uses that stopwatch to buy time, but it just doesn't matter as they are going to get rid of Sonicism. Dives into their bag themselves, basically picking up a double, no, I should say a triple kill coming in there for the AD carry of Canberra Meta. But what a fight coming through. It's a little bit slow, but just De La Salle don't have the damage.
Yeah, and you just can't get on this Azir. I mean, he's just got that wall up, protecting the MF and himself from a lot of the damage, and just shreds through multiple members very, very quickly on that fight. It actually looked quite good for a sec. There for De La Salle. They got the dragon. They did get a pick on the set early. That was actually the first kill of the fight. But eventually, they just all go down. Set it to 0 in the AMF damage, and Jax is going to push that in. A bit of a greedy decision here. And this could actually... Okay, no, I think they're just going to burst through it. There was double TP available, but they're just doing it so fast it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, really dominant position that they put themselves in. And now, finally, Hedgie, they can actually start taking the objectives. There's finally going to be the top lane turret falling. All of the tier 1s are gone at 30 minutes into the game. And that is, I think, credit to De La Salle. You were talking about them being able to push out the waves, hold the wave management. And that's kind of what you need to do in these games when you're behind is keep farming up, keep getting the gold income to your carries, keep staying alive in games like this. Don't just roll over the moment you get in a little bit of trouble. So they need to keep holding on. But it's getting harder and harder and harder. Yeah, 9,000 gold.
I mean, this has played so well to get this lead, to get so many kills in this early game on a champion that really isn't supposed to do. And he's done so well in these team fights as well to get so many great engage setups, hide away those melee matchups, and now Aatrox is in a bit of a jiffy.
Yeah, I don't think he's 2 levels down. Mowgli is 2 levels down to the enemy jungler. That's how much Godrius has been abusing this Aatrox in the top lane. It's so heartbreaking here. As it looks like, Godrius is looking for something, but I'm not so sure it worked out for them there. As they will back up, but the inhibitor being secured is a little bit of a problem here, because now with the inhibitor down, well, they're going to start losing everything from the side of De La Salle.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to actually do what we didn't see last game and get the wave prepped for that second inhibitor. Should just be able to take this one and then rotate every member to the bot side, take that tier 2 and push that one in. But should have a relatively easy time just taking this objective with the Baron minions. All good on the turret, all good on the inhib. They're going to engage with the Z ultimate, but I think that is just a bit
of go! That was beautiful of a Shurima Shuffle there. Jackshox is in trouble here. Will likely get taken down by Godrius, but go on this. Z, you talked about it, has done God's work on this champion.
Yeah, he's doing so well in every fight. He's getting so many good, and not even just like the peeling, which is usually how you use that as your ultimate in team fights. He's getting engages, baby. He's like landing 3 or 4 man ults in every single goddamn team fight. He's playing so well on this champion that we haven't seen in a while, really, in competitive. And across Elos, you know, he's not highly played, but he is making this champ work and really executing and allowing his team to play in a way in these team fights, which is really good. Get those engages, and Jax, even like with his E, it's a good ability, right? It's an engage ability, but it's not an ability you expect to like land on multiple members, right? Because, you know, he has to dash in and like walk at you to do it. So with some of these Azir ultimates, it really opens up, you know, people being put out of position, and that allows Jack to get some better ease in as well. So just doing a really good job overall, as well as even the displacement for MF ultis, things like that, to get people out of position for a Z ultimate as well, just for a pop. Obviously the set ultimate can come in. Like, there's just so many things that Azir ultimate creates when you put people out of position. It's not like putting them in one place, right, where they could just flash out or do something like that. They are fully just out of position in the middle of the enemy team all of a sudden, and it's just proving so successful every time he does it. And now they pretty much get an easy mountain soul. They should, with those super minions pushing on the top side, in the mid lane, it should be quite easy pick up this objective and get Vision down for it.
You would hope so, but De La Salle aren't going to give this objective over willingly.
Yeah.
They will try and contest here, which worries me a little bit because Mowgli is still top lane. Mowgli has TP, but Mowgli is also 0-9. I'm not sure even a panic TP could do anything here. Deathstrox goes in for a desperation steal, but instead, oh, no, he's not going to get out, but it looked cool while it lasted, Deathstrox, but unfortunately, mate, you're not making it out of here alive. Stopwatches to look cool, but will go down to Godrius as Loco tries to hold off the front line here, but once again goes down. The ants go marching in 1 by 1. Why are we all going in 1 by 1? You can't fight like that.
Yeah, this is Solaki. All over again. You know, it's not having a fun time, but I like how you were saying that was funny. It was just like, Aatrox is topside. He's 0-9.
Like, you can't contest in these situations, but then you're going in 1 by 1. You can't do that in these situations. Godrius catches out Prodigy. Prodigy is the last hope for this team. He needs to stay alive if there's any chance for De La Salle to do well here. But they're being pushed back onto their fountain. There's nothing that they can do. The goal difference is too much. The objective difference is simply too much. The base difference is one that must be respected as the game freezes because there was a pause in it. That will be the game. That will be Caramata destroying De La Salle at the end of the game. It was an even for most of it, but they just could not hold off in the end.
Yeah, good performance there, honestly. All around, and a bit of an upset. I mean, we didn't really have the opportunity to have an upset today almost, just because, you know, it's been 4-2 versus 4-2 versus 4-2, and then this game was 5-1 versus 4-2, and yeah, De La Salle going to actually go down there and bring their record down a bit on one of their first losses of the season, but really, really good performance across the board. I mean, I was so impressed by the Azir, but Godrius on that Jax as well. You got to mention him. We had an absolutely fantastic performance on that champion. Bot lane did have their struggles. Kai'Sa and Lulu were doing quite well at points, but in the end, they were a good, had a good contribution to the team. And I mean, the Zed, he made it work, all right? He made it work at least.
Yeah, made it look good, but that, despite being 10-0-10, is not going to be the MVP, not for this game. Our MVP, which is sponsored by Optus and Toronto University, is going to be the mid laner here of Caramata. That will be Gola Golan on the Azir. Some phenomenal plays coming out of this champion here. The 3-man ultimate that was in the follow-up of the stun, the pressure and the roaming. There were some roams that didn't do anything, but the fact that they were still being on the map, still being active out there was phenomenal coming in there. And then pair that up with the rest of the team, you know, Godrius and Pwn for Fun on the top half of the map. Those first 3 kills kind of just said the rest of the game there. Caramata took over the top half of the map, and the only real thing that De La Salle could do was try win through the bottom lane, try win through Prodigy and Lemonade, but unfortunately, it was simply far too little, far too late. Kai'Sa is good, but a Kai'Sa being dived on top of, she can't look after herself. She's good, but she's not that good.
Yeah, no, I was just so impressed with Zed, just because, like, he's not a champion that, like, typically goes in and gets those 5-man or 3-man or even 4-man, like, Azir ultis. Like, he's more of a stand-back champion, you know, wait for late game, get that scaling going. But he was aggressive, he was going in, he was carrying that game, you know what I mean? And just playing so well on the champion, setting up so many great engages, and overall just had a really, really good performance where usually he's not a champion that you'd expect to do that sort of thing. So really good performance there. And overall just a good team effort. I think they had a bit more team coordination at times in a game that was a bit messy. They had some really, really good wombo combos with that Jax coming in as well. So overall, just a good performance, and they moved to 5-2. A strong record going with just a few weeks left into the playoffs.
Exactly, and that's the big thing in the next couple of weeks is the playoffs here. These higher end teams, they're going to have to fight tooth and nail. The better seeding makes life a little bit easier. A little bit easier of a life means that you have a better chance to win your state and take a shot at the finals, which is, of course, the big thing that everyone has been working on throughout the course of the year. But finals are a couple weeks away. Well, probably a couple months away. It's probably a bit closer to say there. So, guys, on that note, that will be the wrap-up here over at Meta HSE. Stream 1, of course. There was Stream 2 happening a little bit ago for the Queensland games, but that did pass and set sail. But, guys, on that note, guys, that is the end of week number 7 here. Make sure you tune in for week number 8, which is, of course, surprise, surprise, this time next week. Who'd have thought? But on that note, guys, take care of yourselves out there, and we'll see you next week.